Stop in to hear some helpful words that create awareness about your emotional health. Let's go ahead and deal with this. Maddie and I have this thing about, we're dealing with some stuff about the elephant in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes there's an elephant in a room or in a situation because of the topic of lying.
Yeah.
So let's deal with lying, okay?
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Thank you so much. Anybody in the room who's never told a lie, would you please raise your hand? Nobody's hand goes up.
Mm-mm.
Right. Because, okay, lying is common if we want to go ahead with that.
There you go.
That's common.
Yeah.
But, oh boy, we don't want to deal with that commonality, right?
Yeah.
All right. So what I like to write in some, I try to be a little creative, but I use some of the thoughts that we've all had. So you lie, don't tell lies. These are things that we've heard, right? Big fat liar. I'm not sure why we had to, like, why does it have to be descriptive? Because a lie is a lie is a lie. We even have, it's just a little white lie, right? Well, it's not a big deal. Any lie is a lie.
Yeah.
Right? And what I also have learned over the years is that when we do tell lies, the lie, you have to tell another lie to cover up that lie, which has to cover up the other lie. Oh,
and you're just digging yourself a hole deeper and deeper and deeper.
It's exhausting.
It is.
It's exhausting. And the last ones I put on here is the lies we tell and the lies we believe. Ooh.
Wow, that is something.
Yeah. So, if we are truly honest, we all have heard and we participated in lying and lying behavior. Mm-hmm. So someone has said to me, Coach Sandra, what does lying have to do with my emotional and mental health? And you guys know here on our podcast, we want to deal with the emotional and mental well-being issues. So let's talk about that great question, right? So I'm going to just talk about a few facts or some issues around lying because I hear the complaint a lot, Maddie, from parents who, say in their anger and their disbelief, she's lying to me or he's lied to me. He lied to me again. And so I'm just looking at the student, young person, parent, child relationship, right? So we know lying can be in any of our relationships.
Absolutely.
Right now. So in any time in life. But let's just look at what we're seeing with a young person and their parents. So like I said, I'm getting that complaint. And so I'm having to help these parents process. One of the first things I try to say to them is that the lying behavior is really not about you, parent.
Yeah.
Because what we do is we say, oh, they lied to me.
Yes.
I can't believe, they've lied to me. And
we take it so personally.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it cuts them, right? So I say, when we're dealing with lying, there's some things that, we've got to consider. Lying is never about the other person being lied to. Okay. So we get very distracted because we are so offended, like I said, when we're lied to. Now, we could pause right here and we could unpack some things about the other person who feels like they're lied to. Because what I think we also miss in this, like if we're in a conflict personally with us, right? The highly offended person or the highly offended self is usually soaked in judgment of others and the mishandling of equality, right? You're not seeing the person as equal. And so you say, I can't believe they lied to me.
Yeah.
Because I'm up here. They're not. They lied to me. So and that's not healthy. But we're not going to unpack that necessarily fully. We can toward the end of our conversation. Due to being offended by the liar and the lying, we often put the focus on the wrong thing the wrong way. Here's what I mean about that. And then I'm going to let you speak to this topic, okay?
Okay.
I think that lying is very personal to the person who is lying.
Mm-hmm.
And it really, when we unpack it, it communicates insecurity about the person who is speaking lies. And so, and I think this person, no matter what their age is, when they're telling a lie, they could be feeling uncomfortable. They could be fearful. They could even feel ashamed. This is just a few examples about whatever the something is, right? That they are lying about, the lying, whatever the issue of the lying behavior. And so the lying becomes like a protective shield.
Yeah.
I put up a shield for myself, right? And because I think you were going to talk about the issue of trust. And like I said, I want to let you jump in on this.
Okay.
And I think what happens with that protective shield, that it does create like an emotional safety space or safe space for the moment. And again, if we just try not to get distracted by the whole idea of the lie and look at what's really happening. So
Absolutely.
Go ahead, speak to that.
Yeah, I think that's the most important part about when somebody lies to you. And I've been in situations like this where you're so hurt over the fact that they lied that you're not even thinking about A, what they lied about, or B, why they lied. You're just so caught up in the fact that you just got lied to that you just completely dismiss anything else. And of course, you're going to be mad at the person that lied, but realistically, you have to dig into why they lied to you.
What's going on?
Exactly. Like you mentioned, they might feel ashamed. They might be in a situation where they felt they had nobody to turn to. Yeah. And then you have to look at yourself. Why does if we're talking about parent and child or in any relationship, why does my person feel that they have to lie to me? And why don't they trust me? And what am I doing?
Yeah, that's good.
To show them that they can't trust me. Am I saying things that hurt them in ways that I don't know? Am I making them feel demeaned about something? And so when I'm already demeaning you about one thing, and then that same topic comes up, you're going to lie about it because you don't want to be demeaned again and again. You're not going to keep telling me the truth of, I got a B on a test, and I'm like, as a parent, I'm going off about how you need to get an A. Well, then you get a C on a test.
Yeah.
Now you're lying.
Yeah.
And then that lie turns into another lie. And now you have academic failure.
Right.
And it's like just from one judgment, it like scares someone so badly to where it can turn into a completely out of control like situation.
Right. And what I heard as you're saying it, like that protective shield.
Yeah.
I'm putting up a shield, and it's lying, but that's the only place I feel safe.
Yes.
Right? I feel safe in that lie because your condemnation is so heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Condemnation, demeaning. Again, judgment is the same stuff.
Yeah.
We don't realize how much weight and power is in those moods, right? That will come into the relationships. And I love how you said with your person. So it could be at any level. If we're carrying that ugly about us, they always know person's going to be, my person, my adult, my support. They're going to have something negative to say.
Yeah.
They're always going to be demeaning. They're always going to be belittling of what my ideas are. So why would I keep bringing my ideas? I don't have any ideas. Well, I'm lying.
Yeah.
I have ideas. But what I'm saying is I can't trust you with them.
Absolutely.
Because you're destructive in how you treat me in our relationship.
Yeah. And on the other hand, it could just be extremely high expectations of that person that they never even agreed to meet.
Excellent.
It's just this like idea that a parent or somebody in a relationship has set these expectations on you and you never even agreed to that or thought yourself that you could uphold them. Yeah. And so why am I trying to meet this almost ever moving bar that I can't reach?
That's rich. That's rich. And so my mentor actually was, I'm listening to some things from my mental health mentor. And that's one of the topics that was brought up about this mutually accepted expectations. So if we mutually agree, so, you know, here it is, we're in a relationship and you're interning with Madicel, and here I've got all these things in my head. Some of them I tell you and some of them I don't, but I never really say, hey, Maddie, is this something that you can do?
Yeah.
Because we have to mutually agree.
Absolutely.
That expectation 2, 3, and 7, you're good with.
Yeah.
But those other ones, they don't fit where you're at. They don't fit your skill set. And they may be outside of the boundary of what you're willing to be stretched at.
Right.
Right? So and that's totally fine.
Yeah.
If we're in a healthy relationship, if it's work, if it's school, if it's home, it doesn't matter. It still has to be mutually agreed upon expectations.
Yes.
So I love that you highlight that, because I know I see a lot of it in our homes.
Yeah.
I see a lot of it in, love relationships or romantic relationships. This person wants that and that person says this, and they never really agree to anything. And then they get mad because, well, you just don't meet my expectations. Well, it'd be a good idea for you to communicate them.
Absolutely. Communication. I love that, the mutual agreeing on expectations. And I think you should bring that into almost any relationship that you're pursuing, whether it's romantic, family, work, because when someone has expectations and you're in a relationship with them and then you let them down, that also hurts you. And so not only are you not meeting their expectations, and so now they're upset, but now you're hurt because all of a sudden you think you're not good enough.
Excellent.
And so
I agree.
Expectations without communication is the problem.
That's it.
Because expectations alone are fine. I expect you to, always be loyal to me, or I expect in a parent relationship, I expect you to do the dishes. Those expectations are completely okay. But for you to not communicate them is the problem, because as a kid, you have a million things on your mind, whether mostly teenagers especially. Are you thinking about doing the dishes? Probably not. And so then mom comes home, the dishes aren't done, but she never told you. And so now you're getting yelled at because the dishes weren't done.
Right.
And it's like this confusing situation where you're like, well, I didn't even know you wanted me to do the dishes. And now I'm getting yelled at. Now I feel less than, unworthy, upset, and it's just a strain on the relationship, which can lead to many other things and lead back to lying. Did you do the dishes? Yeah, I did them. And then you come home, the dishes aren't done. That lie on top of the unmet expectations, you're done.
And then in that scenario you just painted, we never get to the root, because the parent comes home and says, you told me in the text that you did the dishes. So, we're lying to each other now?
Yep.
Oh, you lied to me? I can't believe you lied to me. And they're so on that lie, they don't know that their young person's been struggling all day with depression, bullying, just using any suicidal ideations. Anything could have been going on. Like you said, there's 101,000 things going through the mind of a young person, because they're in transition.
Absolutely.
Right? And we don't take out time to understand they're going through a lot.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that we're not. It just means I need to know that they are.
Yes.
They're going through a lot. We all are. But sometimes I think as the adults, we sometimes are so distracted about our big things, we forget that our family members, our young people, our person, they got stuff going on too. And I need to be there to make sure I'm listening and understand, you know what? Even though a lie may have brought us to this place, we're here now. What else do we need to talk about?
Right.
So we've got the lying, and, communicate that. Hey, son, daughter, young person, spouse, partner.
Yeah.
I'm really hurt because I was lied to.
Right.
but I also want to know what's behind it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think I've ever been asked that. Have you?
No.
And that's the problem, because honestly, I think that in my experience with someone who lied to me,
Yeah.
if I would have just dug deeper with what they lied about, I think that it truly could have helped us a lot more than just holding the lie against them for so long and holding on to that lie. And it's okay to be hurt by the lie. A lie is always going to hurt.
It is. Absolutely. It's real.
Yeah, but it's your job as a individual to really look in yourself and then examine your relationship and ask, why did this happen? Why don't they trust me?
Yeah.
And that's hard. And you have to let go of your ego. You have to let go of the hurt.
Yeah.
And if you're not capable of letting things go, I mean, it's tough, but
yeah.
The only way to save and fortify your relationships is being able to let go of things and really dig in deeper past the hurt and past the immediate reaction that you have.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I love that. You have hit some great spots, and I don't know. I don't know that we need to go deeper, because this is good. This is some good stuff, even if it's just the beginning of us talking about lying, because I'm sure these kinds of topics will come up again.
Right.
It's a great place to be, and just processing. Hey, ask that question. This is for everyone. Ask that question. What's behind the lie?
Mm-hmm.
Go beyond the hurt, like you said. Get beyond that. And what happens with us is we will hang out at the hurt place.
Yes.
I mean, we will build a whole tent, a whole dwelling place, right? A whole house. We are there. We are perched up there. I have been offended.
Mm-hmm.
I have been hurt. Okay. You got that out of the way. Now what?
Yeah.
Because if I stay there, it's like sitting, soaking, and souring, right? You don't want to be sour milk. Who wants to be sour milk? I would hope no one wants that, even if you're lactose intolerant. You don't want sour milk. You don't want rotten apples or
nothing,
anything like that. So whichever example you need to put on it, don't stay there and become rotten.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead and feel all of it. Communicate all of it. But also understand communication is about listening, right? We're going to bring up communication next time, so I'm not going to go too deep into that. You see how one topic can lead us into another topic.
Yeah.
Maddie, we'd be here all day just kind of talking. Our throats would be gone, right?
Yeah.
But we're going to go ahead and wrap up, and I just want to say thank you again. Do you have any last statements you wanted to make?
No, I'm just so glad that you had me on. I mean, this is really fun, and it was a great experience.
Excellent.
Talking to you just opened my eyes to so many more things, and I've truly just gained a lot of perspective from you for my life in the future, and it's just truly a blessing to be on here with you.
Hey, thank you so much. I am honored to have you. You bring a lot to my journey and my life as well. So I thank you, young adult, for what you are committed to do in the universe. So many more great things are ahead, I know. So I know I'm excited to be a small part of that in setting you up for what is coming in your future. And so thank you for stopping in here. We're obviously going to have you back. We're going to talk more. We're going to bring some more friends around. This podcast time is about us dealing with real life, our topics, our journey, our ups, our downs, our ins and outs. So we just want to remind everybody, please look for us. You see, we have our logo on there. We have our website on there, www.themadicelgroup.com. But you can find us on social media at Madicel Coach. We want you to like this podcast. We want you to subscribe to whatever channels you find us on YouTube. It's Madicel TV. But subscribe and share it.
Absolutely, share it.
You're welcome to drop your comments, because we know we hit some really hot topics that all of us deal with. So thanks. And we look forward to having you back again. Bye-bye.
Bye.